Good afternoon. What a beautiful day. What a great turnout. My name is Ben Farkas. I'm the athletic director at Holland Public Schools. And it's an honor to stand up here today as we recognize a man who's been a mentor, a coach, a teacher, and a friend to so many of you. There are a number of people here today who I'd like to recognize for making this all a reality. First, I'd like to recognize Superintendent Davis and our Board of Education. We have some of those individuals in attendance today. We have President Steve Gross, Vice President Susan DeYoung, and Trustees Maggie Rivera and Janet DeYoung. This is the first time that Holland Public Schools has dedicated a facility. These individuals have been fully supportive in making sure this is done at such a high level that it truly reflected our appreciation for Tiger and everything that he has done for our school district and for our student athletes. Next, I'd like to recognize Mike Clark. Where is Mike? Many of you know Mike from the many hats that he has worn at Holland over the years. He's been a teacher, a coach, assistant principal, an athletic director, and now a retired assistant athletic director here at Holland. And it was Mike who first mentioned the idea of Tiger Teusink tennis courts and was the one who really got the ball rolling with it. So thank you, Mike. Next, Tom Page and Brett Roach, our Director of Communications, our Director of Facilities. These two men have been responsible for much of the behind-the-scenes work to make today a reality. From overseeing the construction of this beautiful new entrance and the archway above me, from handling the logistics of today's events and everything that goes into it, these two men and their teams have done it all. So thank you. Last, and certainly not least, and the one who's probably most instrumental in Tiger's success, I'd like to recognize Shirley Teusink, Tiger's wife of 56 years. Shirley, could you please stand? Shirley, hearing Tiger tell stories about his coaching days, you were always a part of those stories. I'm willing to bet of all the alumni here, you've been in their home, you've had a team dinner prepared by Tiger and Shirley, and with everything you've done for the kids on these teams, there's no doubt that you're a huge part of Tiger's success. So thank you. Aside from the honor of standing up here today, I do have the privilege of making one additional announcement. Beginning this school year, one $1,000 scholarship will be awarded to a Holland High School graduating senior who's been a member of the tennis program. The scholarship will bear Tiger's name, and he will have the opportunity to personally award the scholarship at HonorsCon each year. I'd like to thank the Southwest Michigan tennis patrons, notably Mike Flock, who's here today, for providing the funds to make this possible. Thank you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kevin O'Keefe, and I am currently the varsity tennis coach right here at Holland. I've been here for 9 years. I've currently had the privilege to play for Tiger back in the early to mid-'80s. Tiger Teusink means a lot to me. Tiger has been not only a mentor to me, he's been a coach, he's been my boss, he has been a teacher, and what a privilege all of those have been. Back in the day, I worked for the rec department for Tiger. Got to play singles for Tiger. Got to play here, and Tiger would yell, "O'Keefe, quiet down out there." One of the great things about today, some of you have noticed, it's windy. One of the greatest things Tiger used to say, the Dutch love to play in the wind. One of the things Tiger taught me was to be on time. Being on time meant being 5 minutes early. Tiger taught me to respect others, to be consistent, and I can remember when Tiger and I met at McDonald's back when I was taking over this tennis program. I didn't bring it today, but Tiger laid out a binder. This binder was basically the secret success to leading the Dutch tennis program. It had so many valuable pieces of information in it, from drills, tactics, how to handle challenge matches. It was unbelievable. It was almost overwhelming that I could not handle all of it on day one. So thank you for that, Tiger. I remember Tiger telling me one thing in particular, that was to be consistent. And that has led me, I think, to be successful in this program because you have to be consistent with young high school kids, with parents, with the school, with the community. And that has helped me, I guess, to stay out of trouble, as Tiger told me. You don't want to get in your AD's office, and if you stay consistent and do it that way all the way through, you will be successful and win. One of the things I remember in the early days for me that was very hard is I remember the phone calls. I used to call Tiger. Tiger, I don't know what to do. I'm in a situation. How do I handle this? Tiger was always there to answer the phone. He was always there and willing to listen. And he was always there to give me great advice. Sometimes I would just call him to say, I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. Do you have a better way to do this? And he was always there to help me. So thank you for that, Coach. One of the things I want to do is I want to read a testimonial from a good friend of mine and someone close to Tiger's heart. Here's a testimonial from Samantha Stille von Websky. She writes, I had the opportunity to become a middle school and varsity coach, and there he was again for coffee dates, inheriting invaluable binders full of his coaching history and knowledge, and in the mail would come cutouts of newspaper clippings addressed by him anytime my name was mentioned. To me, she says, this is why Coach is legendary. It's the attention to detail, the care, the love of the game, and always going above and beyond while remaining under the radar. Still one of the most humble and talented people I've ever met. After all this time, he is still willing to accept urgent phone calls from me when it's not quite clear how to handle a situation, and was even there when I needed help running my first regional tournament. He has a deep moral compass, is passionate for people, and is the best advocate for the lifespan of tennis. Someday, I hope to be able to instill even half of the care and knowledge into my players that he has. In closing, I just want to say thank you to Tiger, and I couldn't be more proud of you and to know you, and you deserve this honor and much more. Congratulations, Coach.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much first to Holland Public Schools and Holland High School for recognizing how important and impactful Coach Teusink has been to this community. He deserves this honor. My name is Emily Van Fossen, and I had the privilege of playing for Coach Teusink for 4 years in high school, and then again at Hope College, where he assisted the women's team under Coach Karen Page. Coach Teusink is a classic. He stood out from other high school coaches in his high expectations for both his team and his players. As a player on his team, we were constantly learning, not just our forehands and our backhands, but we were also learning life lessons. We grew in maturity and responsibility. We practiced things like shaking a player's hand, how to walk with confidence and always our racket head up, how to reject a point, and even have the mental edge. If practice was rained out, you could find us on the floor of the library listening to mindfulness cassette tapes. Far, far ahead of his time. There wasn't room on our team for egos or attitude. If we won, it was graciously, and if we lost, it was respectfully. Coach reminded us to thank our families for coming to the match, and especially our mothers for filling our water jugs and doing our laundry. Time was important on our team. Being on time meant arriving 5 minutes early. I guess you all know that too. Practice began at 3:17, and if we had to travel to an away match, we would meet at the van at 2:52. We had detailed explanations of our itineraries. We had statistics and record tournament results. At practice, no tie-dye t-shirts or concert shirts, no lollygagging or talking recipes. If we did fall out of line, we were reminded that it wasn't a punishment, but a motivation. At matches, no boyfriends, no music, and if we had had them, certainly no cell phones. Our team was always put together, not in expensive uniforms, but in uniform cohesiveness. From the net posts to the scorecards to the lineups, there was predictability and precision, and we knew what to expect. During changeovers, Coach would find us and have to physically connect with us, and often that was just a finger through the fence. He would bend down to underneath the windscreen and have to touch us, and he was in ready position himself, but calm, collected, and energetic. We had catchphrases to remember during our match play. Feet fires. I love to play in the wind. When in a tiebreaker, always get your first serve in play. When the wind is at your back, move in to receive second serve. We even had our own Dutch clap and a whisper of, "Here come the Dutch." We had fun too. Traveling in a van with 12 girls took a special kind of guy. The singing, the boy talk, and giddiness he tolerated, and all in return, we tolerated his crazy driving. He would often roll down the window and shout, "Look out, Jack!" To slow drivers, and we would have to hold our breath as we passed through many yellowish red lights. We had a blast every year when Tiger and Shirley hosted us for their annual dinner at their meticulous home. And it was a great team bonding experience, and we bonded as a team every year a few weeks later by TPing the house. One year, an election year, we collected every political sign in the city of Holland, littered the yard, and pulled down a lamppost. So I'm sorry about that. All joking aside, we knew he cared. Every paper that went home had a warm, fuzzy smiley face on it. And he gave us a big squeeze after a tough loss or a great win. We would hear daily from him, "I love what I'm doing." And his favorite thing to say was, "You are so special to me." Coach, from the countless players, teams, and families, we say, "You are so special to us." Thank you.
I hope you can hear, my name is Ed Waits. I have zero connection to the Holland tennis program. I was born and raised in Jackson, Michigan. I first met Tiger, we go way back, in the summer of 1963. He had come to Jackson to teach history at Jackson High School and to coach the tennis team as well as other teams. I had just graduated from my alma mater, Jackson High, so I didn't get a chance to play with him. But Tiger and I have had lots of experiences over 3 decades. I'm here to tell you his impact statewide, because in the mid-1970s, a bunch of people, not me, formed an organization called the Michigan High School Tennis Coaches Association. His impact was, as you can imagine, immense. A guy by the name of Bob Wood from University Liggett, who owns about 35 state titles, was the founder, but there's no doubt Tiger was the foundation. He had his impact in virtually everything. There is a flight situation where all of you guys, if you qualify, go to the state tournament. That's partly because of the Michigan High School Tennis Coaches Association and Tiger. There was never a top 10 ranking until Tiger got involved. I became the ranking guy in the 80s, but Tiger always called every Sunday night for his input and basically to bail me out. We have all state players now. That never happened before. In the 60s, I would have been all state, but there was no vehicle, no association to do that. There is a coach of the year, and a bunch of Holland people have been coaches of the year. It's because of this association, and Tiger was deeply involved in the choosing and the exercise. He was president for 2 years, actually 3 years of this association, because he extended 1 year when Nancy Ryan from Cranbrook Kingswood moved to Minnesota. For over 3 decades, he was our secretary-treasurer, and as everybody who's in teaching knows, the guy who runs the show is the secretary or the custodian. I quit coaching in 1995 but became the membership guy, and the major reason I became the membership guy was that we work so closely together. Tiger and I go way back and we had a lot of fun. We also have both type A type personalities that get things done and make sure that it's proper. He is involved in our workshop, always there to register people and all that. He has been a clinician in our workshop. He has been involved in virtually everything that statewide our association does, and it's always Tiger Teusink, Holland, Michigan, Tiger Teusink, Holland High School. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this kind of situation is just an event of basking in reflected glory. If you get into a room and Tiger's there, you go stand next to him because it makes you really look good. Because he is that kind of impactful person. Finally, I'd like to commend the people in Holland for doing what they're doing here. When you get to a certain age, as I am, you tend to gather around memorial services or funeral parlors or tombstones, and you talk about what a good guy was, and you tell stories, and you figure out, what did he mean to me, and blah, 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 blah. And the symbol of immortality is the tombstone. This is immortality, and the man is here.
So not by design, Tiger's been a member of basically any Hall of Fame of which he's eligible. Countless championships, countless wins. I don't think you heard anybody talk about that in their speeches today. And that, again, that was not by design. It does speak to the true value of Tiger to those that he has impacted, his team members and so on. So I think that's very impressive. Well, Tiger, could you come join me, please? Tiger, on behalf of Holland Public Schools, I'm honored to present to you this plaque, which reads, in recognition of your outstanding and decorated service to the student athletes of Holland Public Schools, Tiger Teusink Tennis Courts, September 24th, 2016. Congratulations. And the floor is yours.
Wow. I love what I am doing. Yes, I do. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks, Ed and Ben, for your kind words. And thank all of you for coming here today, especially my warm friends from the Warm Friend Hotel. I also want to recognize my special friends from Clearbrook. They came here as well. I appreciate you guys being here. This honor is so powerful. I am so humbled. I am so proud. And I am so excited. I want to thank Superintendent Davis, the Board of Education. A thank you to athletic directors Ben Farkas and Mike Clark. Thanks to you supporting parents, and many of you are here. You shared your sons and your daughters with us, and we are so appreciative of that. Thank you to those players who wore the red and white and made us so proud. hopefully hearing the words, and you've heard most of them already. Being on time is arriving 5 minutes early. I love to play in the wind. Win in a tiebreak. Get the first serve in play. Clear your side of the net of all balls before play. So we had a lot of fun with that. In fact, at the beginning of practice, there would be a player assigned to one of those, and they would have to get up and face the group and make that statement so that it was ingrained in us. And Kelly and I, we really thought that that was a very, very good thing, and I think it had an impact on our performances. Our family is here. It was such a privilege to be able to coach all three of our kids. Our oldest son, Scott, in basketball. There was Dirk and his family, and Dirk in tennis, and our daughter, Michelle, in tennis as well. And of course, there's Shirley. The spouse of a wife is very special. She is also a very patient person. Shirley is beyond being just special. We coached 42 different tennis teams here at Holland High, and she prepared lasagna for them when we had our annual team meeting. And Emily referred to this. This was a bonding time. Sometimes we had over 50 players on the team, and they were scattered all over the house. It was a lot of work for Shirley, but we all had a very fun time. So Shirley, you are the love of my life. There's also someone else I would like to specifically recognize who played an integral role in the Holland High School tennis program. That person is Kelly Schinnebacher. She was an assistant for over 20 years. She was my go-to gal. Kelly and I had a chemistry of being positive and a caring attitude for our student athletes. We taught respect for parents. We taught respect for our opponents. We taught respect for each other. We taught self-respect. And above all, we taught respect for the game of competition. Thanks, Kelly. We had a great time. It has been a privilege and an honor to teach and coach at Holland High School. This community embraces excellence, and we did our best to maintain that excellence on the tennis courts. This journey began a long time ago when a skinny, pigeon-toed kid rode his bike from home at Harrington School. Destination was the Moran Courts for tennis lessons. Coach Joe Moran was my first mentor, followed by Coach Russ DeVette at Hope College, followed by my good friend who is here, Coach Bob Wright in Jackson, and Kirk Anderson in the USTA. These people gave me inspiration, gave me encouragement, and taught me the facts of life of coaching student athletes. I loved coaching because I loved teaching. The love and respect for this game has always been a high priority for me. The naming of these courts is a humbling thing, but frankly, these courts belong to the community of Holland. These courts belong to the parents. These courts belong to the student athlete, the tennis players who wear the red and white. The fact that my name designates these courts makes me feel very proud. This is very, very special. Thank you for coming today.
I don't envy the position of having to follow Tiger's speech, so I will simply thank all of you again for being here today. And also a couple of reminders. If you have not filled out a memory sheet for Tiger, I encourage you to do that. Those are on the tables back in the reception area. And also there are a number of pictures being taken today. JR, our school photographer, is here, and all those pictures will be posted on the Holland Public Schools website in the next weeks or in the coming weeks. I'd encourage you all to stick around and chat and continue with Tiger. And again, thank you all for coming. Such a great turnout and so deserving. Thank you.